G'day there guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. Now if you love this kind of content, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the Barbie, and let's get right into it. My girlfriend asked for an open/poly relationship. I said no, and now she's acting strange. My girlfriend, 28 female, and I, 26 female, have been in a relationship for 3 years and a few months now, but not long ago, she started sliding in hints before full-on telling me she wants to try an open or poly relationship. She asked about this before at the start of our relationship, and I thought that I made it clear that I was and am monogamous and am not interested in that. Now she's asking again and saying how we could both even share a girlfriend, or we could be open and hook up with whoever. I told her no and asked her why she was pushing this again. She says that it could be a way to spice up our sex life, and I said something like, okay, well, I'm not into that. You know that, so no go. She got agitated and said to just try it, which pissed me off, and again I said no. This conversation happened a little over 2 weeks ago, and she seems to be pissed off about it still, not really talking to me and sleeping in the guest room. I've tried to get her to talk to me about it, but she just brushes me off and says that it's not important anymore. I've been venting to my friends about it, and a few of my friends brought up that maybe she's already cheated, or is cheating, and is trying to cover it up, or maybe she has someone in mind that she wants to bang. I doubted it at first, but now I wonder because she still has been a little more distant and just all over, even before the whole open relationship talk. We haven't been having sex as often as we used to, but I chalked that up to it being more of my hectic work schedule. I'm not sure what to do. I'm afraid that if I start digging, I won't like what I find. Edit/mini update, I am going to either snoop in her phone or confront her about it. I love her, but I also don't want to be played. If she's hiding something, I will find out. And now in the comments, it doesn't matter if she's cheating or not, because this relationship is already over. She wants something from this relationship that you don't. And it's a pretty major something that you have clear, expressed boundaries around. Not a let's compromise on what we have for dinner something. There's nothing inherently wrong with what she wants. There is also nothing inherently wrong with you setting boundaries and sticking to them. The fact that she now won't accept the boundaries she's been aware of all along though, that's not okay. So it doesn't matter because you each want something vastly different, and that's not a recipe for a lasting relationship. You're better off cutting your losses now rather than dragging this out for potentially increased pain on all sides. And OP replies, you're right. It sucks, but it's still just confusing to me. After the first time, she seemed just fine with just me and her, and I never got the feeling since that she wanted this. I was in a similar situation as you once. My now ex-wife randomly wanted to spice up our sex life with open relationship, and I finally caved because I wanted to keep her. Her coworker happened to also be interested in being with her. I think we can connect the dots and see how this led to our divorce. The point is, you never really know people, but you gotta stick with who you are, which sounds like you were doing a great job of. The pain of losing them is going to be hard, but you are saving a lot of other pain down the road. It effing sucks, and I am really sorry for you. This is not something someone just randomly suggests. She's thought about it, maybe even already talked about it with other people. Mentally at least, she may have gone down that path further than you know. When she says that it's not important now, what she means is it's not important for her to talk about with you. She's likely considering whether she wants to stay in this relationship. And frankly, you should do the same. You both deserve to have a partner who is on the same wavelength about something as basic and complex as monogamy. And now onto the update. It is super late, but I'm numb, sobering up, and just can't effing sleep. This sucks, but I need to get this off my chest and out of my head. So a few days ago, I posted about how my girlfriend of 3 years asked me for an open relationship or to try a poly relationship. I actually got to sit her down to talk the next day after posting about it and asked her why she brought it up again. She asked in the past, in the beginning of our relationship, after dating for so long. She repeated that she just wanted to spice up our love life, and I asked her, how would that spice things up though? The only one who's gonna find it sexy is you, because you know that I'm not into that. She said something about how I should be open-minded about it because so many people wish they had a partner like her that would be okay with them screwing other people. I said yeah, if they were into that, then I would get that. After a little more back and forth and talking in circles, I just said, listen, if you want to screw someone else, then just say that. However, we'll be over. I love you, but if you want this, then you should go be with someone that would give you what you want, because I can't. I thought that she would be a little more remorseful or apologize or anything, but what she told me, I assume she thought that I just broke up with her because she just got pissed and screamed out, "Oh, so we're over? Fine. I've been screwing my guy friend anyways, and I'm pregnant." Yeah, my lesbian girlfriend is effing pregnant by a friend of ours. My hands are shaking just thinking about this again. I tried to hold it together, but I just couldn't, and I tried to kick her out, but she wouldn't leave. So I left to a friend's place and have been here over the weekend. My now ex kept calling me, but I only answered and told her to get her crap together and move out and go live with the douchebag, who I deleted and blocked because I would lose my crap on him at that time, and then I turned off my phone. I turned my phone back on this morning and my ex left messages. I called her, to get closure, if anything, and asked her how long. She said since December when I went out of town. I asked if they screwed in my bed, and she said yes. I asked if this was the reason for the open relationship BS, and she again said yes. Lastly, I asked if she was planning to keep the baby and still stay with me, and she said yes. I just hung up. I've deleted and blocked her on everything for now because I just need to distance myself right now. I'm gonna see if I can break my lease on the apartment that we shared because now that I know that they've been fooling around in there, I don't want it anymore. For now though, I'm just chilling here at my friend's and will probably be here until I can get out of my lease. I have no more tears left. I can't tell if I'm in shock or emotionally broken. I took some time off work, but I don't know how I'll ever get back to normal after this. Thanks for the advice from my previous post. I'm gonna try to get some sleep now. And now in the comments, I am so sorry this happened to you. At least you know now. And OP replies, I tell myself it's best that I know now and not 10 years later, but it just hurts. It's like I feel too much, but also nothing at the same time, and I hate it. OP, prepare for her getting unhinged and gaslighting you. She may even try to guilt trip you by using her pregnancy. She used polygamy as an excuse for her cheating. Get her out of your life and all those who support her. You are strong and will get into a better life without the trash dragging you. And OP replies, oh, she's gone. I'm never going back to that. I mean, what was the plan here? Surprise, I'm pregnant. Like, how did she think she was going to explain that one without outing herself as a cheater? I guess the plan was, let's be poly. Whoops, got pregnant, but you agreed to be poly, so you cannot be mad at me. And OP replies, honestly, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. It was a dumb idea, but I guess it would have worked in her head. Our next post is titled, I, 35 female, want to give a little present to a guy, 35 male, that I'm going on a second date with. Is that too much? So I went to get a beer with this guy the night before last that I met online. We ended up chatting for 4 hours, and as the bar was closing, he told me, I don't want this to end. Do you want to take a walk for a bit? So we went for a walk, he held my hand the whole time, and at the end of the date, he walked me to my car and gave me a little kiss. That same night, he texted me to say that he was excited to get to know me more. Well, he's just asked me to go to dinner the day after tomorrow. I know that he's about to have a surgery that will mean that we won't see each other for a few weeks. I want to put together a little care package of stuff to keep him entertained. A book that I think he'd like, a couple of magazines, and some snacks. Is that too much too soon? Would you be a little put off by that if someone did that for you on a second date? And now in the comments, I love the idea, but a basket of lots of things might be a bit over the top. Personally, I would just go with one thing. A favorite book that you want to share with him is personal and without coming on too strong. I think that your specific circumstances surrounding his surgery and the fact that he has shown definite interest would make it okay. Normally, it could be a bit forward. Do what you feel is best. Don't pass on being yourself to play it cool. I knew my husband was the one on our first date. We met on Tinder, so we talked quite a bit before we actually met, since I got really sick for a bit. At the end of the night of our first date, I left my hair tie in his Jeep. I told him, I'm going to leave this here, so you have to come see me again. I had never ever done anything like that in my life. We talk about that moment all the time. Guess what made him fall for me? That very line. So bottom line, be you. Be you no matter what anyone else says. Get him the gift basket. Someone will love you for you, entirely you. If it's him, time will tell. You sound like such a catch. And now, on to the update. I came to this group a year and a half ago, asking if I should give a present to this guy who I'd only been on one date with. The date went super well, but he was going to have a minor surgery, and I wouldn't get to see him again for 3 weeks. I wanted to give him a little gift basket so he didn't get bored in the hospital. Just to update you all, we got engaged! Last week, we went on a hike up to a field of wildflowers, and he got down on one knee. We met on Bumble. We are both 37. Trust your gut, don't lose hope. Reddit is a great place to get advice. And now in the comments, I met my current partner on Bumble, and what I find so funny is that I have had zero luck on that app prior to us getting together. Like, 0 matches progressed to an actual date. Now my partner and I have been together for a year and a half, and moved cities together. Couldn't be happier. Also, big congrats on the engagement. What most people don't realize is that it only takes one good date. And OP replies, congrats to you too, on the big move together. I actually used Bumble on and off for years and never got past 4 or 5 dates with someone. I felt so demoralized at different points. My fiance and I had actually matched 2 or 3 times across different platforms. I'd even started conversations with him before and got distracted by other people. But finally I was like, alright, I'll just go out with him so we can stop doing this. Lol. It was honestly the best first date of my life. Aww, this is my favorite kind of story. Never pass on being yourself to play it cool is the best advice ever given in dating. A decade ago, I went out to my local GameStop to buy Dark Souls. This very cute guy there told me that it was very difficult, and I had already tried it and knew that it was fiendishly hard, so I jokingly replied, maybe for you, you filthy casual. Where is the GameStop boy now? Well, he and our son are out remodeling our garage to a Japanese-style fighting games arcade. About 2 dates into dating my now husband, it was his birthday. I didn't know what to do, like, do you buy a gift? Do you not? So I put up a box, added bread, bacon, mushrooms, and chocolate buttons, and gave that to him. It was a hit, and he even mentioned it in his wedding speech, and now when we have bacon sandwiches, it takes us right back. Always go for the gift. Our next post is titled, Advice on Having a Difficult Conversation. So my daughter is now 6 years old. I have been in her life since before she was a year old, but I am not the biological father. February 2019, the adoption was finalized. Every year, we have our special anniversary where we get dressed up, she gets a corsage, and we go out to a fancy restaurant and do whatever she wants for the whole day. We discussed what to do for this year, and I could see that she had something troubling on her mind. I'm nervous she's going to ask why we have a special anniversary. Any advice on how to address it if she asks? A bit of information, her biological father never had any kind of relationship with her. She looks like me, acts like me, and has no memory of before the adoption. And now in the comments, just be honest and open. My father died when I was 2, and my dad raised me from then on, eventually adopting me and changing my last name when I was around 9 years old. My dad was always, and always will be, my dad. It will almost certainly be the same for her. She may eventually become curious about her biological father and have questions about that side of the family, etc., but as long as you are always there for her, you will always be her dad. They say blood is thicker than water, but love is thicker than blood. Fun fact, that quote is incredibly misused. It's not blood is thicker than water, the full quote is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, meaning the relationships we choose to have is stronger than whatever family you happen to be born into. Hey, so lurking mum here, forgive the intrusion, I was in a similar situation to your daughter, except it was never celebrated. My parents started dating when I was a few months old. I always knew my dad wasn't my bio dad, but it was never talked about. She doesn't really understand what biological means at this point. What she does know is that you were the dad she's always ever known. Here is the story that I would have loved. I wasn't around when you were born. I met you and your mum when you were X years and months old. I love you and your mum so much. I wanted to be a part of your family. So today we celebrate the date that you became my daughter and I became your daddy. It's kind of like a second special birthday that just you and I get to have. It's awesome that you celebrate this day. Love and positivity around the adopting of a child is amazing. And OP replies, thank you. I've been overthinking what to say, so this is very helpful. We were blessed to have a great support group. It took 18 months of court battles, and when I finally went to the judge to make it official, he asked me one question. What do you call her? I smiled and said Nugget, and he told me the sign of a loving dad is that he gives her a special name. That next Sunday, we were thrown a surprise party at church, and everyone pitched in to cover the legal expenses we incurred over the last year and a half. Be honest and open and supportive, which it sounds like you already are. I'm 43 and remember stuff that I was told when I was 4. People wrongly assume kids are too young to understand some topics, when in reality, adults need to speak more plainly and openly. Life is easier when you're open and honest, especially with kids. Even if she's mad or confused for a night, a week, a few years, you are still the parent who raised her, and will be the one who was honest even when it got difficult. She'll remember that, even at or from 6. That's a tough question. What does she know about your relationship? Does she know that you are not her biological dad? And OP replies, she doesn't know anything about it, but has been piecing things together over the last few months. I've always been daddy to her, and she asked why mum called her an instant grandbaby, or why there's no pictures of me and her when she was born. And now, on to the update. Her mother told her about it last week without consulting me. At first I was upset, but opted to just wait and see how things played out. Fast forward to yesterday, I was sitting on the couch and my daughter came up to me and asked if she could talk to me. The conversation goes as follows. Daddy, Mummy told me you adopted me. Yes, what did she say? She said a man didn't want me and you loved me so much that you adopted me. That's right, baby. I loved you from the minute I saw you and love you more every day. I love you too. I'm happy God made you my daddy. Me too. Do you have any questions about anything? Do we have to tell people I'm adopted? Well, do you want to? No, you're my daddy. It can be our secret. Can we still have our special anniversary? Of course. What color corsage do you want this year? Purple. Now I'm sleepy. And after that, she went to bed. I was bawling like a baby. So many nights thinking about having that conversation, and it couldn't have gone any better. She is an amazing, beautiful little girl, and I am beyond lucky to have her. Thank you to everyone in this sub for all of your encouraging advice regarding the prequel post to this one. You are an amazing group of dads, and lurking moms. And now in the comments, wow, this made me tear up, man. So happy for you and your daughter. I'm not crying, you're crying. No, it's definitely me. As someone who's adopted myself, this really made me so happy for you. All that matters is that you have each other to love. The rest is just paperwork. A purple carnation. You're raising a lady of distinction, I see. And OP replies, due to Valentine's Day taking all the carnations, I ordered her a lavender rose. I love this. Ninjas cutting onions at work. How old? Sounds about 7. It's amazing how simple explanations work with kids. Mummy's parents aren't very nice, so we don't talk to them, but we're lucky to have so many other grandparents, aunts, and uncles who love us dearly. It was much easier than explaining narcissism, emotional abuse, and undiagnosed bipolar disorder. Everything is simple for kids. My kids are adopted and not the same race as us. Kids would sometimes ask them why I was white, and by preschool, my younger one would proudly say, "He's white because I'm adopted, but he's still my daddy." Kids always accepted that as an answer, even if they had no clue what adoption was. They were just happy to have an answer. With our kids, we talked about their adoption since birth and never made a big deal out of it. My kids are teens now, and neither see their adoption as a big deal. It's just a part of their life, and they consider it to be no different than their hair color. It really can be this simple. That's why you tell them when they're still young. They don't overcomplicate things. All that matters to them is that they are loved. A friend of mine didn't tell her daughter her dad wasn't her bio father till the girl was 16. That poor girl felt like her whole world had collapsed and questioned everything and all relationships. We kept telling the friend for years she needs to tell the daughter, but she always said, "someday soon." I was adopted at 8 days old and was told at least once a year by the time I was 1 on the anniversary of the day that I was brought home. I always knew, as did my brother. I know people who were told a little older, around 6 and 8, and it took them more time to adjust. In my opinion, there's no reason not to tell your kids when they're super young. There is a ton of ways to bring it up in a happy and casual way. And that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.